sad that is, but I'm not going to feel that. And what happens is we start getting influenced by society and these little cultures, and so on and so forth. And we've been led to believe that being emotional is not a good thing, whether it's happy, whether it's sad, whether it's angry. We've been led to believe that. And I can share with you an article that I read by a nurse who is also an anthropologist. So she studies cultures, ethnic groups, ethnicities, just that whole sociology type of thing. And her name is Madeline Leninger. And what she did was she just looked at the different cultures within the nursing profession. And what she found is that there are inherent differences based on where you live in the United States on how you look at things or how you practice nursing. But interestingly, that matched very closely to the culture in that area of the country. So let me just share with you some little tidbits. She called these little cultures tribes. So the one tribe she talked about was the East Coast tribe. And the East Coast tribe, she said, they're very stoic, they're kind of competitive, they're assertive, and they're steeped in tradition, which means that if you're a newbie coming into that area and you have this great idea and you want to change things, well, a lot of times you meet resistance and they'll be like, well, we tried that before, it didn't work, so we're going to have to study it for years before we even, change. It's maybe not that bad, but I have grown up there. I can tell you that it's a little slow to get things moving along. Whereas Southerners, she found, were very friendly, so people that lived in the Southeast. They're very friendly, they take you in if you're a newbie, they're part of the family, they're very family-oriented. They don't like to be very confrontational. They're very polite, and so if you did something to someone in the group, they wouldn't probably come to you and say, hey, you said such and such, and they never do that. So there could be a big old elephant sitting right in the room, and they'll walk around it, and they'll sashay that way, and no one will ever address it. So that was kind of an interesting thing. And then what they said about the Midwesterners is that Midwesterners tend to have a very strong work ethic. And a lot of that has to do with their history with working with labor unions. Labor unions started in the Midwest a long, long time ago with Henry Ford and that whole group. They tend to be less aggressive. They tend to know how to get things done. They don't particularly like conflict either. So again, you could be doing a really bad job, and the only way you're going to know is that they're probably just not going to talk to you. So you'd be you'd be sort of left out. And I know some people are chuckling in the room. So either you've experienced it or you realize something within yourself and you kind of do the same thing. I've had interesting experiences being from the East Coast and moving out here, because if there was an elephant in the room, I would address it, and people would be so upset. They'd be like, well, why are we talking about that? It's not a problem. It is a problem. It's right there. So I just thought that was interesting. Now the West Coasters, California, the people on the West Coast, they tend to be more innovative. And really what they're doing is they're taking the same old issues that we have and they're creatively re-engineering solutions to the same old problems, only they're really good at marketing it and relabeling it and selling it to us and saying, hey, this is a brand new thing. And if you really drill down and you look at things, it's the same old solution, only they've been really good at marketing it to us. But the thing about the West Coasters is that they're rapid adapters. They like you. They're cool with it. Yeah, we're going to try it this month, and if it doesn't work, we're going to move to this thing the next month, and so on and so forth. So if you know that stuff like this exists in cultures, then you could tell, depending on how you grew up or where